Greetings. First of all, I would like to thank you all for coming here tonight. And I do regret that I am unable to attend this evening, especially after our first reception had to be postponed due to bad weather. Well, business in Washington keeps me here while we await a call to vote on the health care bill. And not to digress, but of course that is something that you know very much about. It's an unconstitutional takeover of our health care system in this country, 1/6 of the economy, taxes on Medicare, taxes on the economy, taxes on families and businesses, all bad things, something that I've been fighting against for months now. But this is a defining moment actually for the country as the Speaker of the House decides to push forward with this legislation nonetheless. And so unfortunately, as I say, I have to stay here to continue the fight and deliver this message to you by this means tonight. I do then therefore want to think it's appropriate that we come together this same week as the birthday of our nation's first military academy. You know, it was George Washington who chose West Point as a strategic site for a fort, and he established his headquarters there in 1779. And then later on, just a few years later, in 1802, President Thomas Jefferson signed legislation establishing West Point as the United States Military Academy. And West Point celebrated its 208th birthday just a bit ago on March 16th. Now, our first president understood that America will always have enemies. He knew that we would need brave men and women who would protect our country and our freedoms. So 233 years later, we can still see the truths of his words. So tonight, I am pleased to recognize the achievements of these fine young men and women from the 5th District of the state of New Jersey. Your nomination to our nation's service academies is only one in a series of tremendous accomplishments of which you and your parents and your family should all be very proud. I would also like to thank those people who have served on my Academy Board nomination, and that would of course include John Ginty and Bill Pullman, John Tomino and Ted Ogren, Pete and Rich and John Oro and John McChesney and Mike Hannafin and Henry as well. So thank you all so very much for your service. And you know, the qualities necessary to serve our nations as military officers and your experiences and expertise are critical to picking the very best candidates from the numerous applications we received, and we did receive a lot of applications. You spent countless hours, and I've seen you up in the office doing so, of your time interviewing these men and women and considering them based on their merits. I cannot thank you enough for all of your time and efforts you have put into this process this year and past years as well. In today's world, it is common for high school students to go on to attend college in preparation for a future career. But it's an uncommon privilege to attend a military academy where students prepare to defend freedom and protect their countrymen. As you all know, the selection process alone is intense. You have been evaluated in academic performance, leadership potential, and physical aptitude, and for good reasons. Graduates of military academies must excel intellectually, physically, emotionally, and mentally. They must have the moral fiber and physical strength necessary to prevail in major conflicts and withstand tremendous challenges. It is exactly these principles that allow students of military academies to succeed. As an academy student, you will be challenged by the push-ups, the marches, and other rigorous physical exercises. And you will no doubt endure equally strenuous academic examinations, including tests and writing assignments. While the combinations of these disciplines will make you unique from other college students, they're really not the foundation of your true distinctiveness. What sets the American soldier apart from other warriors, past and present, is a code that does not value the power of power's sake, but rather honesty, integrity, honor, and the protection of the weak and vulnerable. They are emphasized as much as intelligence and raw strength. You know, our military is great because our finest lead and they serve in its ranks. The American officer represents a nation that was built on the principles of equality and liberty. Upon completion of your training, you will defend a people who strive for peace, but who recognize the value of freedom. During your time at the academies, you'll be constantly reminded of those who sacrificed their lives to protect our nation and the liberties that we deeply cherish. So, I wish you all the best as you move through the final steps of the application process. Because of students like you, those willing to serve their nation and to strive for excellence, I have such great hope for the future of our country. I have hope that with strong, intelligent, and moral leadership, our nation will continue promoting liberty and justice across the world. So thank you. Thank you again for taking the time to be with us this evening. As I said before, I wish I could be with you tonight to celebrate your nomination, but best wishes to you and your families as you embark on the next chapter of your life.